Everybody, this is Beauty of Algebra, and today we're going to be learning how to factor cubic binomials. If you're interested in checking out more of my resources, please visit my website at www.beautyofalgebra.com. There's really two ways in which you can factor a cubic function. One way is using the factor by grouping method, and this occurs when there's 4 terms. However, this is not what we're going to be focusing on for today. We're going to focus on the SOFA method. This occurs when there's 2 terms, otherwise known as a binomial. And so we're ultimately going to be looking at an acronym called SOFAs to factor these equations. So SOFAs is an acronym, and there's the letter S stands for square the front, O is opposite sign, the letter F is first times last, the letter A stands for always add, and the letter S at the end stands for square the last. This occurs when there's 2 terms. Let's take a look at what one of these problems look like. So we'll actually take that x to the third plus 8. And what I did was over in the right-hand corner, I put the acronym right over there for you to use. The very first step is you want to take a look at that first term. And you want to try to find this. It has to be the same letter or number that when multiplied together would give you x to the third. We know that x times x times x would give us x to the third. So I'm going to list that our front term is going to be the letter x. X multiplied 3 times by itself would give you x to the third. Likewise, find it for a, that would be 2 times 2 times 2. Easy way with numbers is if you have a calculator, you can take the cubed root of 8, and you'll find that it comes out to be 2. This front number right here, we're going to call this the first, and this is our last. So when you actually go to factor these, you start out by just taking the x, the sign, and the 2, and putting them in the first parenthesis. The second parenthesis, we want to use the acronym. S stands for square the first. This is your first. X times x is x squared. O stands for opposite sign. If it was plus, now it's minus. Letter F stands for first times last, so 2 times x, or 2x. The letter A stands for always add. And then the letter S stands for square the last, or 2 times 2 to get 4. And that's actually your answer. Your factored version would be x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. Let's take another example. So with this next one, we have x to the third minus 125. So again, try to think of 3 numbers that multiply to give you x to the third. And then that would be x times x times x. So that first term is going to be your x, and then 3 of the same number that multiply to give you negative 125, so that's a negative number. That's negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. So your last term is really negative 5. So the first parenthesis is x and negative 5. Then the SOFAs method is square the first, x times x is x squared. Opposite sign, then 5 times x, so first times last. You're still going to keep the sign on whatever O was, whatever opposite sign it was. It's going to be that sign. So even though it was a negative 5 and an x, or a negative 5x, but we're going to keep whatever that sign was opposite of the x to the third, so the negative is going to be a positive. So x squared plus 5x, always add, then square the last, or negative 5 times negative 5 to get 25. That would be your answer. All right, next one would be, now we're going to throw a number in front of that x to the third. Can't make it too easy on you, so we're going to throw a 64 in front of there. So let's first just think, okay, we know that x times x gives us x to the third, but what 3 numbers multiplied together would give us 64? Thinking 4 times 4 times 4. So if we have 4x times 4x times 4x, that would give us 64x to the third. Negative 8, we know that to be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Right, so we have our first, we have our last. So we have 4x and a negative 2 in the first parenthesis. Square the first. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. O stands for opposite sign. The letter F stands for first times last, or 4x times negative 2, or 4x times 2. Always add, and then square the last to get 4. That would be your SOFA's method for that problem. We'll take one more. Oh, we're going into some big numbers here. Again, just a little bit of a reminder if you can't figure it out. Usually, most of the times it's a number between 1 and 10. You can play a little guess check on your calculator, or you can recognize it. Or if you want to just simply take on your calculator the cubed root of 216, you'll find that comes out to give you 6. So your first term would be 6x times 6x times 6x. Likewise, the cubed root of 343, you would find that comes out to give you 7. So that'd be 7 times 7 times 7. Your first parenthesis, likewise, would then be 6x plus 7. Then square the first, 6x times 6x to get 36x squared. Opposite sign, so it's a minus. First times last, 6x times 7 to get 42x. Always add, and then square the last, 7 times 7 to get 49. Hopefully this video helped you out. I think this is an easier method instead of memorizing that more complicated formula. This method occurs when you have two terms, and one of them is an x to the third, and the other does not have any x term on it at all. I hope that everyone has a great day, and thank you for tuning in. You can always check out more of my resources at www.beautyofalgebra.com. Thank you.